So yeah, sounds great. For that, I'm kind of looking forward to that now. I've replaced my WWE experience, and it saved me a bit of money, and probably I'll come away thinking it was a better show anyway if I was going to compare the both. So there you go. There's my two pennants. At least it isn't Wembley. I haven't got to make it all the way to Wembley now, so that's always a big help. So yeah, more stuff of that coming up, and I'm sure myself and Matt will be testing the waters with any press stuff that we can do on the show as well. And another part of this as well, we were talking about Pro Wrestling Eve as well, Matt. We're going to try and look into that as well. About possibly going to an all-women's show, and again doing the same thing there with the press. So lots of stuff to get into. I've got a busy week coming up. I've got some annual leave, and literally I'm sort of designated at least 3 days to just go all out on the show, just to make sure we get everything that we need to get. So should be good. Okay, Matt, just some other bits now as well as we move on into the show, back to the wrestling side of stuff as well here. So it was announced this past couple of days as well, Matt, that the AEW will be kickstarting a new chapter in the Monday Night Wars. Warner Media announced Wednesday at the Television Critics Association Summer Press Tour that AEW will begin airing live weekly shows on TNT beginning Wednesday, October 2nd. That rings a bell, Matt. Is that when we're going Ring of Honor? Or is it around that time? I don't know. But yeah, October 2nd from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So the debut does not come just 2 days before WWE will debut SmackDown Live on Fox. So that's going to be a very interesting timing. And of course, NXT itself goes out on Wednesday on the network. So that's going to be the main part of the competition, I would say. At least at the beginning, will be more geared towards NXT and AEW. Are WWE brave enough to put NXT out on Fox, and actually let's see what the figures are for it? Because a lot of people say that it's not as many as what you think, but I have no idea. But there is a very sort of odd rumour going around that as much as we think NXT is the better product, that still people don't really watch it, and when they come up on the main roster, that is the first time that they see them. But yeah, shocking as that sounds. But yeah, AEW will be going on TNT, so they do have a date now for weekly television. So it's going to be interesting times then on in. Matt, something else that came up as well that I thought we'd talk about. WWE Network has decided to change itself finally. Hopefully for the better. I haven't really had a go of it myself. I'll probably do that later and have a look round. But you've had a little go, Matt. You said it looks a bit more like a PC format. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like the one on the computer a lot more. It's a little bit better, I'd say, but not massively.
Yeah.
Hasn't wowed me or impressed me. I mean, I think they still might throw in a couple of extra changes along the way. It's a little bit easier to find what you're looking for. I remember that was particularly frustrating and annoying before, that you couldn't find the certain matches that you want. I guess it improved a little bit on that side of things. Also, Raw and SmackDown are easier to find,
right,
except you have to. It's like a month behind.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, that's interesting. And what I was reading about, Matt, is the fact that they were going to start charging people different. Like, you were going to get different tiers of the network, so you might get one subscription that's your $9.99, but then if you wanna watch sort of independent promotions that they've been working with, i.e. Evolve and perhaps Progress, you could up the money and get that as well. And of course they do have all the library of Impact Wrestling as well, that they could chuck on there. Now, Matt, if they did that, is that something you would automatically go to? Would you be up for the next level, or would you just stick with what you got?
Yeah, I kind of learnt my lesson from the first network launch. And I was like, wow, all these years of WWE, like, when will I ever get a chance to see it? I'll be on it all the time. And, just like most people now, I've realised, now and then there's some matches I want to go back and find and watch, but, I've barely scratched the surface on the WWE Network. I think this more content would be harder for me to digest, so I feel like I'm going to stick with my $9.99 kind of subscription, get my pay-per-views. There's so much new content being created. It's hard to go back on the old stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. I mean, for me, I would probably just go, well, you know, how about just get like, you know, the VIP or whatever the tier system will be called, and just get it for like 1 month, watch it all, and then just go down to the next one again, because that's all you're probably going to do, really. But I mean, it depends. I mean, if it's like Evolve now and Progress now, then it might give me reason to want to get it for like a discount price, whereas if I go on Progress and sign up with them, it might be cheaper through the network, just to have all my stuff in one place. I can see myself liking that because it's current and I do like those products. But if it's just archive stuff, then I think, you know, like I just said, I'll probably buy it for a month and then just go down to the normal rate once I've watched them all, because it's not something you're just going to need to keep tapping into. But I do feel like they could have done... See, they should have done this, really, Matt, when they first launched it. They should have said there's a tier system then. They should have said there's one that includes pay-per-views, there's ones that aren't. You know, you'll get NXT, and then there's ones that you can watch the entire archive of everything, you know. And then you could have even sold another one on for us historians like me to go back on the NWA, all the I mean, there's ones that go back to 1950. But again, people just don't know they're there. But they could have done this back then, Matt. I mean, I do think they kind of just rushed it out there and just literally uploaded everything, along with all these really crappy shows that they tried to, these original shows like Swerved, and what was all the other shows? Loads of tops 10s, and then it was Listed. I mean, there was hundreds of them. But yeah, I mean, rather than concentrate all the money into those, they should have just sort of thought about what they actually want to put out there, and you know, sort of tailored it to different kinds of fans, because I'm pretty sure everyone's using it differently, Matt. And but it's almost like one of those things now. $9.99. It's going to be very hard to get people to sort of change that habit after you've sort of just given everything away. You know, for I don't know how long it's been going for now, but at least 4 years, isn't it? At least, or maybe longer. Yeah. Very,
I definitely agree with you there, and the whole tier system is going to be hard to get people to switch, like you say. And yeah, I agree, should have been there from the beginning. It's almost like now when you look at the pay-per-view system, this is like something else here. It's like they've undersold their pay-per-views. It's like, no, you don't even expect that a pay-per-view from WWE is worth $9.99 now, because you get so much other stuff with it.
Yeah, it's true. It is true, and I did think they were. I did think they were giving too much away when they put like the top 4, you know, Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Those ones, I just believe they should have kept them as pay-per-views. Because if they're good enough, if you put the best of the best on, people will buy it. But I think they can sort of almost half-heartedly do them now. And, you know, it's almost like the ones they put the most money in are the Saudi shows now. So it's all sort of blown up differently now anyway. In what WWE prioritises as a top show. So yeah, different times, I guess, different times altogether. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the bulk of the show. The only other thing we have left to talk about, Matt, of course, can't go without this. CM Punk puts himself in, Matt. He's going to be at StarCast. He's booked there. He's going to be at number 2. It's his first wrestling appearance since he's gone. What do you take from it, Matt? And obviously the obvious question to you.
Well, you know, it's good to see him actually coming back into the wrestling fold, like actually having some sort of interest in it, because there's been a long time when he sort of shied away from any sort of contact with wrestling or any sort of appearance, and so at least there's that interest back from him. I do kind of respect him for that. It's like you can't really put yourself in a situation if you're not feeling it, if you're not into it. You know, wrestling wasn't his passion for a long time, and if he's willing to talk about it at least now, that's a good thing. But people shouldn't really be expectant or demanding too much from him. You know, he's his own guy, and he's proven everything he's had to prove. He didn't have the greatest success in the UFC, but at least he went out there and did that. So who knows what the next chapter of CM Punk's career holds.
Oh no, percentage, Matt. What do you give it that he's going to be at AEW? You think that's a signing Tony Khan's going to make him an offer he can't refuse, or?
Well, apparently he's off. He's made him an offer already, but by a text message or whatever. So I don't
the
think
notes
that
on
really,
the end of it.
don't think that really impresses someone like CM Punk.
No.
But money wise, he's never been that bad. So too hard done by. So I mean, it's going to take a lot of money probably to get him out of his retirement status. But for the tickets you would shift and the fan interest that would gather, it would be worth it. I would say, for me, it's so easy to say 50-50, but I would say 65% that he will be in AEW, but not this year, I'd say.
Yes, I'm probably around the same sort of mark, at least 60% that he's going to be. There's more chance of him in AEW than there is in WWE. Quite frankly, he ain't going back there. Because if he goes back there, it's like going back, with the towel between your legs. He's not going to do that. And he's never been like that. He's held out this long. I don't see him as that type of character, and I don't think he'd want to, have that sort of mark. And he's not going to do a part-time gig, because then that's everything he goes against, isn't it, in the first place? So I think it's like he says, he's either got to be all into it or not, and that's the problem. I think is if he's really passionate, he'll do the full-time gig, and we'll see some incredible matches. I mean, let's put it this way: if AEW managed to sign CM Punk, that is bigger than any signing. I would say, bar people like John Cena or Brock, in terms of absolute, maybe AJ to a certain extent, but there's more curiosity around CM Punk at the moment, and AJ is really in that WWE formula. I just think that CM Punk, as a worker, he can work. They would almost get the perfect person, Matt, because he can talk. There's matches in AEW like Kenny Omega and CM Punk is like box office. You don't even have to really sell it too much. But those kind of matches are, would be gold. And even against the younger guys that are coming up, absolute gold. So if they manage to pull that one off, that is the one for me. And the only good thing for AEW and Tony Khan is, listen, he wants to give a middle finger to WWE. He really does. And if he can get in AEW and help them, I think he'd get off on that a bit. So we'll see what happens. But listen, first of all, you got to get him back into it. Somebody somewhere has got him into Starcast. That's a big thing, and I think baby steps. You never know, Matt. The fact that he's doing this is something.
It's really exciting because it's been so long since this has actually happened. I can't remember really the last time there's been a wrestler of such high caliber that's just taken an absence from wrestling because he's chose to. Yeah. It almost reminds me of Shawn Michaels, and there was that time when he was off for years, and then he was finally ready to come back, and then when he came back, it was massive.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. So there's every chance, I think, at the moment, more chance than there ever was in the last few months, I would say. So the fact that he's at Starcast is quite a big thing. The fact he wants to talk wrestling is quite a big thing. So it'll be interesting. Who knows? Maybe even AJ wants to get back into it. You never know. Could be another path as well. So let's see what Cody and the Young Bucks come up with next. That pretty much brings us to the end of the show. Before I go, I do want to give a shout out and wish them all the best for the weekend. That's Soccer in Spandex. Yeah, it sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? But it's for a great cause this weekend. It's basically a football game, a charity game that involves a lot of wrestlers. It's going to be held up in Sheffield, and he's done a great job of putting a lot of things on the market, some very obscure things, but most of them have been excellent. I'm actually trying to win a few items myself, and some of those items will go in a huge competition that we're going to run very soon as well. I want to wish those guys all the best for the weekend, and all the support they give us as well. And give a shout out to British Wrestling Radio as well. They've been in touch, giving me a thumbs up this week. They're not around anymore, but they were around when I first started up, and they wishing us luck for the relaunch and all the other stuff. So want to give a shout out to them. Matt, anything else to add to the podcast before we go home?
Oh, no, I think we covered it all, and there will be some probably